maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs?
Yeah, that was kind of what we've all been waiting for a long time. But, you know, I guess we're doing it now. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between that, welcome on into the video. We've finally gotten a response from the doc. The guy. I'm not just saying, like, he's a guy. His name is literally Guy. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Isn't that... This is a serious video. We're being serious. If I'm being completely honest, I didn't want to make this video, and I'm sounding like a YouTube apology video right now. I just don't really like talking about YouTube predators. It isn't exactly the highlight of my day to talk about a child being exploited because someone doesn't know how to be normal. Oh my god. But I opened this story a few weeks ago, and so I want to be here to write the final chapter because Doc came out with his response to all the allegations that have been thrown against him so far. And honestly, if I'm being for real with y'all right now, I think he's cleared his name of any criminal activity that he has been accused of. But that's just my opinion. He never showed actual physical evidence for anything against or for the allegations. In fact, the most viral clip that's currently circulating the internet from the response from Doc is this.
People want...
Show the message. Release the messages. Show the messages.
What are we, in second grade?
Which is not really a great look in any direction. I personally don't think it's much of a second grader attribute to want evidence that you aren't a child predator. But that's just me. I guess it's fair that second graders would want to look out for him and avoid at all costs. But my jokes aside, I want to show you guys his actual response that he says after that really poor take that he says while live. And this all comes from a live stream that started earlier today, in which he's still live on his YouTube channel right now, where he first plays a game of Wordle. I don't know why, but then he gets to a response to everything that lasts about 20-30 minutes, but I broke down all the most important parts starting at the very beginning of the story, where he kind of talks about why all the information has been so hard to get out of him and Twitch for years now.
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations.
And to catch up with like 4 seasons of lore, he's talking about Cody Connors. Cody Connors is the guy who was an ex-Twitch employee who initially dropped the tweet that was exposing DrDisRespect. Although he never said Doc's name, this was the tweet. It was deleted, so I had to go to my old video to find it, where he says he got banned because got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. I know, grammar can be hard for all of us. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text, case closed, gang. And that's what lit the entire internet on fire. However, Doc has an immediate response to Cody himself and the validity of this allegation.
You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whispers messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is?
That's not a good way to word that, Doc. I'm not gonna lie. He really pulled the, you don't even know the legal definition, as if laws have been stupendous at protecting their people flawlessly in the past. I hope that you have good intentions with whatever the hell you just said there.
I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone.
And there we have it. He finally admitted that he hasn't done it. It only took him 2 months.
You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs.
This is arguably the most insane part of his entire statement, because he's claiming that the whole thing that went down where he dropped an encyclopedia of a response, this whole thing on Twitter, he had a part where he said, what are the messages with a minor? Yes. And he cuts out the word minor in a second edited version of the tweet, and people went ballistic because he's trying to cover up the truth or something. We don't know. And this is him claiming that he removed the word intentionally to stir up the drama, to really get the pot a boiling. What? What? That's like that's the equivalent of Drake making the claim in the Kendrick versus Drake beef that he just made up the fact that he has an estranged daughter just so Kendrick had something to rap about. That's not a move. What is that?
Did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
I'm listening.
You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever.
Absolutely generational stutter right there. That was almost the end of the story. Never met. Okay, I'm praying that you just made a mistake because you're live, because that's probably what happened. I believe him, personally. I feel like he doesn't have a reason to lie here. He has way much more to lose if he were lying, because now that he's coming out with all the information, Twitch has the ability to drop whatever they want as well. But hearing the fact that not only were they never planning to meet in person, but that this person might have been not a minor at the time of them texting is a complete change of the story. The narrative has completely shifted to the fact that Doc couldn't be a criminal if this is all true.
Then what they conveniently left out is, 1. Twitch's trust and safety team. The same employees that decided to ban me internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2. Twitch's trust and safety team. The same employees that decided to ban me internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM.
And that in and of itself makes me start scratching my head. So Doc says he didn't do it, and Twitch says he didn't do it. So did he did it? No. There's clearly something wrong here, and he actually does go into depth explaining who he thinks is the reason for this expose, but first he talks a little more about the conversation he had with the alleged victim.
I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user.
Well, ain't that nice? We finally get something more than nothing to describe the conversations he's had with this victim, alleged victim. And honestly, a lot of these don't exactly sound that bad. The whole talking about video game banter and politics don't exactly sound like the worst thing in the world and could be taken out of context. However, this is all relying on Doc telling the utter truth, and we don't know that for sure because we can't see the screenshots, guy. I mean, like, that's our biggest problem. We can't exactly be a good judge of character when we're just judging it off of your description of your own character. But I'm gonna be an optimist here and assume he's telling the truth because anything else would be speculation. And if Guy truly is not the evildoer that he claims to be, and he's telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, why was he banned from Twitch? And this is where he brings up a story about his old partner manager when he was a partner with Twitch, who apparently wasn't the greatest to work with.
Was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the 2-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned.
Now, I don't have any tinfoil anywhere to put on my head for a nice hat, but what the hell is this Scooby-Doo-ass plot we have going on right now? Is it actually a story about a guy who's mad that he got fired? Is that actually what we're gonna have go down? I don't know. I believe that it could be possible. It's just such a wild thing to hear.
The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team.
And just like an F1 racetrack, we've gone full circle. We're back at the beginning where Doc had the form put out to claim that he was doing something wrong, in which they figured out that nothing illegal went down. And so, if this is true, oh my god, his ex-partner manager is the D1 hater. He is the most ambitious hater I've ever seen in my life, because he keeps trying. It gets worse.
That should have been the end. But that partner manager, he finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team.
LER being the law enforcement response team. So he's taking it another echelon higher to the essentially Twitch police. Okay. And with us being in the most eventful timeline of the multiverse, of course things get worse. Of course the LER doesn't exactly handle it in the best possible way. Because, you know, Doc's perma-banned from Twitch, so of course it didn't end well.
The LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director.
Surely that ended well. There's like that one meme about like the Xbox chats got leaked, we're going to Alcatraz, but instead of just the whole chat getting leaked, it's just the worst possible parts of it. Because if what he's saying is truthful and all of it was banter, it was with someone above the age of consent, and none of it was actually explicitly sexual, and he never planned to meet them in person, I don't necessarily think that he was in the wrong. I never thought there'd be a day where I'd be defending the doc, but if I'm trying to tackle this in the most unbiased way possible, it doesn't exactly sound like he was being a criminal. It just sounds like he was being edgy. Then again, I can't know for sure because he hasn't released the screenshots, guy! But regardless, I have one last plot twist in my pocket, and I'm going to be pulling it out right now. My pockets are empty, but I do have one last plot twist in the story, which is that it gets escalated outside of Twitch to the
National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way.
So now I'm getting the curious vibe that Twitch might actually have some favoritism? I've never seen that happen before. Twitch, moderating their site poorly? That can happen? Oh, and speaking of favoritism, that's actually the next point that Doc brings up in the ending moments of his speech, where he talks about 3 streamers, without giving any specific names, that have gotten away with other crimes on Twitch, breaking TOS to a pretty insane degree, and if anything, benefiting from it. With the first one being a guy who's said the N-word quite a few times on the stream, and was then offered the ability to come and go into a meeting with Twitch where they discuss his content, see if it's okay, and then he gets off scot-free. Which Doc brings up the fact that he was never even given a meeting or even a notification of Twitch looking into him, which, you know, I mean, arguably when there's a child in the mix, it makes sense, but still, it's a relatively unfair when you look at the fact that apparently nothing wrong happened. Like, they even discerned that nothing wrong happened with the text. And he also brings up 2 other streamers, which arguably are the worst in this situation, where one of them apparently has a habit of talking about doing things with dead animals and some stuff with children. He didn't really go into very deep detail there, but apparently this person now has a multi-million-dollar deal with Twitch, as well as another one who also has a multi-million-dollar deal with Twitch, who has had kids on their stream in the past doing some suggestive things, which is starting to give me a bit of a strange vibe with Twitch. My EBs are a little GB'd. Why does Twitch have such a hard time handling anything when it comes to broken rules? Why are you running your whole site like a Discord server? And let's talk about my Discord, link in the description, discord.gg/streamer. And to wrap things up, Doc throws the most crackpot, nitrous oxide-ridden conspiracy theory that honestly makes almost a little bit of sense, where he talks about how around the time that he was banned, you might notice a bit of an interesting trend. It was a month before Mixer died, and he has a theory that maybe what happened was, what contributed to Twitch kind of streamlining his ban, was that they wanted to take the money from his deal and throw it back at Ninja to reel him back into the site so he would come back to Twitch. I don't know how real that is, but to be fair, I don't know how real any of what I just listened to was. But in my opinion, I want to believe that he's telling the truth. It's an insane situation and a pretty believable sign of Twitch not having any ability to moderate their website. But of course, this is where I hand the topic off to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. I've done all my yapping for long enough, so like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in whatever I make next. Let me know if you like this. This is another news one. I'm trying to just keep you on your toes. You never know what I'm gonna make next. But hopefully this is the last Predator I'm gonna talk about for a while, because I'm done with it. Or not Predator, hopefully. Maybe? He seems pretty innocent to me, but I can't say for sure until we finally see the chat logs guy. But as always, thank you for being here, and adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and get out of my video.